Jersey girl. I know it's 5 minutes after the fact, okay? I was still in the midst of kind of getting some stuff going. And then, StreamYard was like, girl, you're going to have to start at least 5 minutes later. So that's exactly what happened. So before we go ahead and jump into tonight's discussion, okay, obviously we are going to play a song tonight, okay? So I do not own the rights to this here music. And don't worry, I'm going to make sure that I edit everything as well. So then that way we can go ahead and enjoy the song, which I think is so apropos for International Women's History Month that we are still yet celebrating this month. We got one more Monday to go. That's right, here in the month of March. And so what better song to play than the one, the only, our girl who did a remix, okay? Miss Whitney Houston of I'm Every Woman. Yes! Sing it, Whitney! We do it naturally, girl! And if you guys know anything about the Virtuous Hour with Lady Tiffany Nicole, then you will also know that this is one of the things that is the kickoff of the Virtuous Hour that happens on Saturday mornings, okay? And Power Influence Radio. So if you don't have the app for Power Influence Radio, make sure that you go ahead and get that too, because this is a wonderful woman that is making moves in social media as well as our radio waves, and just recently landed a deal in regards to a magazine. So congratulations, Lady Tiffany Nicole. Okay, so we are going to get into it, y'all. I hope that y'all are ready, because I am. Yes, I am. So with me being ready for this, I'm hoping that you guys are able to see me. I need to make sure that everything is fully connected, because you know how this goes sometimes. Sometimes it want to be good, sometimes it don't. And so what I say is we need to make sure that we're on a good foot with each other. And so one of the ways I'm able to do that is to pop on in and to make sure that y'all can see me. Yes. Okay. So wait, let me make sure that my volume is on too. Okay. All right. The volume is on, y'all. So I know you see me here and I'm over here, but listen, I'm right here with you now. Okay. My focus is on you. So with my focus being in on you, we are going to be talking about this book here. Successful Women Think Differently. Yes, 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 we do. Business-minded women think differently. We do. And so we are going to be touching on this particular pillar of Jersey Girl Cozy Niche. So we do have a few pillars here at Jersey Girl Cozy Niche. And we are touching on one of them tonight in regards to personal growth and development, which is a portion of journaling. So as you can see, I have on my, yes, honey, my kimono robe. Yes, and I absolutely love it. I've got this and a couple more. Definitely something I wanted to be able to have because setting the mood for what it is that is to come. I'm excited about it. Okay, so excited about being able to share this time with you guys, and I'm hoping that it'd be something that'd be beneficial that you will actually pick up for yourself. I also love to have myself a cute little pen. Now, if this is your first time tuning in to Jersey Girl Cozy Niche, honey, baby, she likes all things pretty. Yes, honey, all things pretty. And dainty. Yes, I do. Okay, so outside of having a really cute pen, okay, for you to work with. Now, yours doesn't have to be as, exuberant as mine. It's okay. It's all right. Maybe you like to flow with a different type of pen, but I am going to encourage you to get a really cute journal, okay? So this one says, a girl should be two things, classy and fabulous, by the one and only Coco Chanel. Okay. So this is one of my journal books that I do go ahead and utilize a whole lot. And I mean, so one of the best ways of beginning to be able to journal is, get a journal that you really like, okay? One that's really pretty that you are going to want to go ahead and just kind of get started in all together. Just start writing in, encouraging yourself in it and everything. I want to make sure that you guys are watching because I'm getting some interrupt. I'm looking at the other thing and I'm seeing some interruption. So what does that mean for me? That means for me that I'm like, I better pay attention to make sure that I'm still live over here. And the best way to be able to do that is to pop onto Facebook to make sure that I'm still streaming over there as well, just to make sure that we are flowing like we're supposed to. I don't want you guys to get cut off or anything. Okay, it says I'm live. See, bam. All I had to do was confirm. That's all. That's all. That's it. That's all, people. It's all I needed to do. And I'm gonna set her over here. Let me put her up on the stand so I can make sure that she's doing everything she need to do. And I actually turned down my volume this time, y'all. So look, I'm getting better and better. Yes, I am. I'm learning. And I thank you guys for your patience with me as I'm learning and learning. Yes. Okay, so we got her over there. All right. So we'll stop for a little bit, just for a little bit, okay? You know what? I was going to have a glass tonight too, just as a FYI, okay? But I was like, that might be a little bit too much for y'all right now. So we'll introduce a glass at another time, okay? A glass or a mug or what have you. So tonight we are going to be getting into successful women think differently, okay? And it had me thinking about quite a few different things, okay? My mom has always had an entrepreneurial spirit within her. And if I'm just being honest, a lot of my family has an entrepreneurial spirit within them. And so I think that it's only natural for me to have actually go ahead and begin to move along this particular vein for myself. I also see my daughter doing the exact same thing. Let me lower this a little bit. So there we go. I see my daughter doing the exact same thing. She's very talented. She has had a business mind since she was little. Okay. Because I would do garage sales. Okay. And so, her and my middle guy, Mike Jr., they would, it's like, okay, well, I'm selling stuff. And so she was like, listen, I'm all about that coin too, mom. Okay. So what do I need to do? So she would end up selling cookies because she would bake it or she would do lemonade. So she would do either one, and Mike Jr. would do either one. So if she decided cookies, Mike Jr. would do lemonade. If she wanted to do lemonade, Mike Jr. would do cookies. At some point in time, Mike Jr. would get tired and want to go play with his friends. And so then she was running the cookies and the lemonade. Okay. She was going ahead and making a killing on it because she was deciding to do what? Stay diligent. She didn't give up when it was like, okay, yeah, I want to go and play with my friends and stuff, but I'm about making this point. So she has that down on the inside of her, and it honestly comes very naturally. Outside of working a full-time job, I also, am taking care of business on other fronts as well. And so it's only natural for me to, have my creative passions as well as, having my 9 to 5 right now. And it does feed both sides of me. So I'm what we call an oxymoron, people. Okay. So what an oxymoron is, I took the test for this just so you know, okay, which I think a lot of companies should do because it will be able to help them to be able to know what types of employees that they have and to make sure that these employees are actually working in positions that will work out best for them and actually be quite beneficial to the company overall. Okay. So as I'm talking, what I'm doing, and I'm hoping that you guys will do the same, is go ahead and start sharing and inviting people on into the room. Because I'm telling you right now, this conversation is going to be really, really good. Whether you're a business owner or not, or maybe you're dating somebody who's a business owner. Baby, this is going to help you a whole lot too. Okay. Yes, it is. It's going to help you a whole lot too. And the reason it's going to help you a whole lot too, because then you'll be able to understand their mind so much better. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the things that they're doing. So it's like, oh girl, you want to go out? Nah, girl, I got stuff to take care of. It's like, oh, girl, why ain't you coming out? Because baby, I got things to do. I got a business to run. Okay. So I'm dedicating my time to, my 9 to 5, quote unquote, during the time frame that I'm supposed to be working that. But then when it comes down to my other businesses, I have to also make sure that I'm feeding them as well. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're taking care of what's in your hand, what your baby is, what your child is, making sure that you're nourishing them, feeding your mind, doing the research, okay, and then giving that time and attention that's needed to them as well. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about where Jersey Girl came from with this, okay? So I have a particular piece out in my living room. I've been getting so many people asking about this particular piece that is out in my living room. I should have had a picture of it pulled up here so then that way you guys can see what it is. But if you get a chance to go back and look at any of the Jersey Girl Cozy Niche videos that I have done, and you've seen a white armoire behind me or off to the side of me, and it said that I know the plans that I have. Well, the one in it says it's Proverbs, okay? And so that particular piece has been getting so much traffic and folks asking, where did you buy that? Where did you get that from? Well, I'm here to tell you that that is a custom piece. That is not something that you're going to be able to just walk into the store to be able to get. Where did that custom piece come from, Jersey Girl? Well, you might as well get ready because guess what? There's going to be a whole lot of different things available on jerseygirl-cozyniche.com. Okay. So that particular furniture piece was created by my mother. Yes. So it started out one way and then it took on a life of its own in her hands. People, yes. And she actually created that custom one-of-a-kind piece. We are in the midst of right now, this moment, creating a piece specifically for me. Yes, we are. So we'll have an opportunity for her to be able to come on and kind of talk to us about it. You'll be able to see, exactly what we did, what it started out as, how it got to be in process, and how it's turning out. And of course, the finish. But we're not going to be finished just yet. Just know that it's going to be coming, okay? Still in the midst of working everything out. So I got that entrepreneurial spirit from my maternal side of the family. I dealt more with my maternal side of the family than I did my paternal side of the family. So I was able to actually see this in action. So a lot of my family is military, or they are working in the medical or home healthcare, and or truck drivers. Okay. So listen, and entrepreneurs. So this is just what creative minds is what we do. My cousin Des, she has reached a phenomenal amount of IG followers. Congratulations, Des. Get it, cousin. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting some lessons from her too, because I was like, listen, when you are a business owner, it is important for you to kind of know how the business flows behind the scenes, so then that way you can be able to grow and do more things. Okay. So journaling, that's what we're going to be talking about in regards to this particular book. Okay. So if you have your book, go ahead and get your book out. Okay. Grab your pen or your highlighter, because with this particular book that was published in 2012, that has sold over 100,000 copies. And let me tell you something, it needed to sell more. Okay. And I'm quite sure that she has sold more. But what I am going to be concentrating on, it is under the heading of the 7 key decisions that is in this book. And it talks about developing habits. Okay. 9 habits to make you happier, healthier, and more resilient. Now, doesn't mean that these are the only 9 habits that are, in use, or the only ones that you can use. She's just listing 9 of them that she wanted to be able to bring to the forefront on this one. And under the 7 keys of decision, she is talking about building self-awareness. And under this one, it has 4 questions to conquer excuses. So if you guys got an opportunity to listen earlier today about the motivational message, I said that the road to success is littered with failures. Yeah. The only true failure is in not trying at all, not attempting to do it. I'm going to speak from my own personal self. I have a vision in my mind of how I want things to look and be and flow. And so I see the finished product. Okay. I'm like, I know what I want the finished product to be. And so I'm not a perfectionist, but at the same time, I am a perfectionist in a certain way. Let's be honest with myself. Okay. But I have to be able to get into the process and understanding that along the way, there's going to be work being done. So it's not going to be finished and complete at each step. No, that's why it's a work in progress. And then it's a finished product. So this is what I have to tell myself over and over again in regards to moving towards the finished product. So that way I don't give up in the midst of moving towards what it is that I'm looking to do. So let me go ahead and put this tickler down here. So then that way you guys can see. Okay, let's see, that mouse act like it didn't want to work, right? Why? I don't know. It is March 22nd of 2022, and this is what we are doing right here and right now. Successful women think differently. Now we're going to hide that, okay? So let's go ahead on to page number 40, where it talks about 4 questions to conquer excuses. Because one of my excuses is that I want it to be done and complete. And it's like I want it to be perfect while I'm in the midst of working on it. So I'll end up discouraging myself in the midst of that. And so the reason that I like to have books in hand to turn the page, because it helps me. I can earmark it. I also have these cute little, little bookmarks on it too. They're magnetic. They're super cute. So like I said, when it comes down to journaling, things like that, get things that are going to work for you. That's going to encourage you. Me personally, I absolutely love my, and it looks just like this. Is magnetic. Okay. And y'all know I'm all about them shoes. Come on now. So of course you're going to have some shoes, baby. So I have my little bookmarks that help me to be able to move through my different books. And when I have my highlighter, to be able to highlight different areas that spoke to me at that time. And then having my notebook off to the side, when I highlight, I may not necessarily want to write in my book. I may just want to highlight, but then I did have a thought or an idea. And so that's why I have my notebook off to the side. So then that way I can just go ahead and write down what it is that that note was, that was important, or that it stuck out to me, or an idea that I had in the midst of reading something. So that way I don't forget it. We all would love to be able to say, oh, I'm going to remember that, child. But all honesty, we don't. So let's just try to get better at it, shall we? Okay, so what's the reason you have for not pursuing your most authentic dream? What's the reason? Whatever that dream is in your life or career, you probably have a reason it hasn't happened yet. But if you look behind the reasons, you might just discover that they could be reclassified as excuses. Thoughts you are embracing that sabotage your dreams. Excuses are born of a pessimistic thinking style and a fixed mindset. I have a tendency, y'all, to want to be able to see the silver lining. Not that I don't ever get down and, see the negative in things, because I can and I do. Okay. But I have to train myself to think, okay, what did I learn? How did I grow? What was the lesson in this? How can I do better? This is a trained way of thinking instead of looking at the downside of it. So some people can see the glass as half empty. Others see it as half full. I see it as refillable. That just means I drink some of the water out of the glass. So it has a lot to do with the way that you see it, and in your mind, the way that you are perceiving it as well. So that's what it talks about: thinking style and fixed mindset. Now, I'm not trying to beat you up about your excuses. I want to help you break free of them so you can go to the next level, because that's what we want to do. Whatever you want to call them, excuses or reasons, they are in the way. And you are the only one who can demand that they go, because nobody else can jump in your mind and make it happen. Nobody else can jump inside your body and make your hands move, okay? It's going to take you to do that. It's going to take you shifting your mind and getting free of a negative mindset to go ahead and start getting into the groove in order to start thinking differently, because that's what successful women do. Don't allow excuses to hold them back or to stop them or cause them to freeze in fear, okay? So what's your excuse? Is it a lack of time, money, or is it that person who's always tearing you down? Is it the dream or is the dream just too hard? Too complex, too much of a commitment? Maybe your excuse is a lack of education or experience. Or Or perhaps if you had just one more contact or so, or a few obligations, or weighed less, or always something. You kind of see where that's going. You get my point. Excuses allow us to justify our lack of progress. They can even bring you sympathy. They let you off the hook. Yeah, go figure that, right? The truth is, when there is something you were meant to do, you'll never truly get off the hook. You must do it, which means you must let go of your excuses. That means facing your fear, whether it is fear of success. Because honestly, let's talk about that part too. There are some that do actually fear success and where that can take them because they see other people and they look at their lifestyle and they're like, well, if I'm successful, then there are certain aspects of me that are no longer me and that are taken away from me. And so I'd rather not reach that far to get that far beyond because I don't want someone else being able to dictate X, Y, and Z and A, B, C, D. Well, here is a bit of truth in regards. So let's just take some celebrities, for example. Some of them call ahead to let the paparazzi know where they're going to be. So then that way they can, get the pictures. Okay. And then you have some celebrities that don't do that. Okay. So I'm just going to use, I'm not saying that these people do. So I'm just going to use as an example, Michael Ealy with his fine self. Child, look here. Okay. How often do you see him and his wife and his children at parties and such? As from what I understand, he's very much so a homebody, but I don't believe that he's a hermit. I believe he goes out to the grocery store. I believe he goes and drops off laundry. Okay. I believe he takes his son to the park and things like that. I believe he goes and meets with friends. But how often do you actually see paparazzi pictures of him and his wife? You really don't. In contrast, there are other well-known celebrities that, do contact the paparazzi in order to let them know what restaurant they're going to be at so that way they can take pictures, so they can be in there. So I'm saying that to say that if you're reaching for a particular level of success, don't allow what you believe others to do or going to do to stop you. You can still have a level of control over that to an extent. Okay. What you will allow and what you won't allow in, I guess, is a better way to be able to phrase it. So it says, whatever you fear, the good news is that you can muster the courage to conquer it. This is what we're reaching for, people. Choose to let go of all excuses for why you cannot have that or want that in your life. Coach yourself with these 4 excuse shattering questions. Here we go. Number 1, what's my excuse? What is it? Okay. We already went. Was it money? Was it time? Was it weight? Was it you don't have the help? What is the excuse? Number 2, what does this excuse give me permission to do or not to do? That one. Number 3, if I could no longer use this excuse, what would I have to do instead? Actually do the work. Number 4, why don't I just do that now? Why don't I just do that now? So, like I said, this is just a snippet of tonight's book. And as you can see, I'm putting my earmark right back on it because I felt like these 4 questions to conquering excuses was so in line with what today's message was for Motivational Mondays, which is the road to success. Successful thinking has a lot to do with, just as she pointed out, Valorie Burton pointed out, a pessimistic outlook and a fixed mindset. So we have to be able to reprogram our minds, okay? Renew our minds, renew our minds. Y'all flowing with me. With positive and exactly where we want things to go, and let go of the excuses of why we shouldn't do it, because that's exactly what it is, excuses. Successful women think differently. We're not going to go down the same broad path as everybody else. No, our thoughts are going to go a different way. We're going to see things differently. And don't be offended when along this journey, you successful woman, that you may end up walking this journey alone. Not everybody is going to see what you see and hear what you hear, But the most important thing for you to do is to forge ahead no matter what is going on. So then that way you can be the success that you've always wanted to be, helping others and reaching out on so many different levels. This is Jersey Girl here. And again, the name of the book is Successful Women Think Differently by the one, the only Miss Valorie Burton. Okay. I have her information that will be scrolling across here at the bottom. So that way you can see exactly who she is, as well as I will make sure that I go ahead and drop the information down on the inside. So in case you wanted to be able to go onto Amazon or go to Barnes and Nobles and be able to purchase the book for yourself. We are leaning in on this particular pillar of personal growth and development and journaling and reading and increasing our mind capacity. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on Jersey Girl Cozy Niche. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Talk to you soon. That wraps it up for this edition of Jersey Girl Cozy Niche. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with us. Make sure that you hit that bell, the notification bell, so that way you can be notified every single time I go live or upload a new video. Because the YouTube channel is where you get your steak, potatoes, desserts, and drinks.